back to the Haney Biz Project with host Mark Haney.
All right. Welcome back to the Haney Biz Project, brought to you courtesy of Sun System Technology. I'm Mark Haney, and I am joined by Barry Broome. Barry is the president and CEO of Greater Sacramento Area Economic Council, GSAC. He basically runs the region's, he acts as the quarterback for all the leaders in Sacramento to bring the team together for economic growth. How you doing, Barry?
Doing great. Doing fabulous.
Thank you for coming in today. And now you and I talked on the way in, as we were going in through email slightly. You're an athlete, you're a wrestler, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're thankful for. But, we are thankful for what you are doing right here in Sacramento. Talk to us about what GSAC is and what you're doing today.
Yeah, thank you. Well, first off, we're privileged to represent the community and work for the community. I always consider that a privilege and feel very lucky to be here. So our job it is to make the Sacramento region a more advanced and innovative economy. So as you know, historically, we've been a quiet government town. We found out in 2008 there's some lumps that can come along with that. Yeah. If you're watching the news, you probably don't want your economic future too much in the hands of government. So, if we can, so our goal is to really pivot the community's economy away from government into advanced industries, right? So that's everything from clean tech industries like, sports products like your friend Jordan and my friend Jordan. It could be autonomous cars. We're getting a lot of traction in biomedical and pharmaceutical, food and ag, software, and energy. And then, of course, complementary, I think we can become a headquarters location, which I would not have thought coming in.
Yeah, great things are beginning to happen in Sacramento. You mentioned Jordan Darling, built Freeform right here in Sacramento and recently had an incredible exit. But what else is happening right now, right? We saved the king, so we have Golden One, but we're seeing all these seeds begin to be planted and actually begin to grow.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what it looks like out there right now.
Yeah, so I think first off, we're competing for Amazon for 50,000 jobs. So even though Jeff Bezos is worth $88 billion, I consider this decision on whether or not he locates with Sacramento the litmus test on really whether or not he's a talented business leader. But the $88 billion may pull rank on me.
Yes.
But I think we have a very competitive story for Amazon, and we have gone after Amazon with the expectations to win it. One of the things that we've learned in this process is, our community is very competitive, willing to work and cooperate together for big ideas. But also we learned, we need a regime change from an economic mentality standpoint at the state. Great gratitude to Governor Brown, but the next governor is going to have to do a better job on helping us with the economy. I think what was announced just the previous week was Sacramento State Student Entrepreneurship Program.
You bet.
So our organization has been working with Dr. Robert Nelson and Dale on designing that. I know you're on the advisory board. Yep. I'm on the advisory board. But there's a lot of things that weren't out in that press conference was, Rick Rasmussen out of Berkeley, who's had 5 IPOs, is designing the curriculum for the program. And we're looking forward to working with Sac State on an emphasis on artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have about 7 or 8 companies to announce in the next 2 or 3 months.
Wow.
So we're starting to get some nice traction there. And I think we're starting to see real signs that there are some industries like biomedical, biotech, pharmaceutical that I think we can be a major player in that people may not consider us a major player in. So our goal the first 5 years, I've been in the job a little over 2.5, was to change the brand and the reputation of the community, make it more efficient, productive, and competitive, and build a true public-private partnership. So the last 2 weeks, we've gotten our 40th CEO on our board. So we have 40 CEOs on this board. 30 of them have made a $500,000 commitment. 10 have made a $250,000 commitment.
Wow.
And that is not a small commitment by any market, let alone a market our size. And I think it speaks to the real strength of our region in Sacramento, and that is the commitment that our community has to ourselves and to our future. And I'm humbled by the level of dedication of the CEOs, and 20 public leaders are on the board with them. So it's really exciting time.
Incredible commitment. And you mentioned Dale. We're talking about Dale Carlson, the founder of the Sleep Chain. He just donated $6 million to Sacramento State in the name of entrepreneurship. He and his wife, Katie, and you mentioned you and I are sitting on the advisory board. But as we start to plant those seeds, right, at Sac State, it's even younger than the entrepreneurs. I mean, a lot of these guys are fledgling entrepreneurs or thinking about being entrepreneurs. So you're 2.5 years into this 5-year goal. And you have some big stuff on the horizon. Can you give us a sense as to what your vision is, maybe after the 5 years is up and maybe even beyond?
Yeah, I think one of the things that building a community's economy is just like starting a business. So I walked in the door 2.5 years ago with 12 CEOs, no public officials, and a file. I had a few employees from the former SACTA organization that hung around and helped me launch this. I want to put a shout out to Anna Strauss, who's a friend of ours, who did a great job with me. Sherry Little, who's now over at CalPERS, and Vanessa Young, who works at SMUD. So we had 3 of them really hang in there and help me launch this and did a great job and helped with the transition. But I think, after the second 5 years, I always call it, lift your chin, broaden your shoulders, and steel your spine, because, transforming an economy is going to take intense dedication. But I think years 5 and 10, beyond that, I think we'll have an established reputation nationally as an innovative market. We're trending right now, top 18 in the U.S. Our goal is to be in the top 20 in the world. And we think we can do that by 2030. I think our next 5 years out, instead of corporations immediately choosing the East Bay when they reallocate their assets out of the city, I think we'll be a much more likely candidate for headquarters. And I think you look at our airport now, we have the #1 rated airport in the U.S. This is how things can change. 10 years ago, the county supervisors put $1 billion in the airport, financed it against Gates. We lost 25% of our business. They restructured the business. It's now the #1 rated airport in the United States of America for customer service by J.D. Power. So it's that really determined excellence that takes 5 to 10 years that's in front of us. But I'm confident we'll step up to the plate and achieve it.
Well, it takes leadership, and I think, Barry, I think of you as a leader. You're assembling this group of powerful entrepreneurs and successful business people, and bringing the government together to try to work together. But I'm thinking about you as a leader, because your style is uncommon. As we talked about, we make a lot of sports references on this show. You were a wrestler, and I was thinking about Barry as an athlete, as a young person, and thinking, as an older guy, you're still in great shape, right? Let's say we got a bunch of 50-year-olds together and we're saying, you know what, let's choose up sides for tackle football. It'd be like, I hope I'm on Barry's team. It's like, I don't want to get tackled by Barry. But where did that bulldog mentality come from? Where did you get your philosophy from?
I'll tell you, my dad was a World War II Marine. So my mom was an Irish immigrant that grew up on the south side of Chicago. And, education and toughness, not in that order, was what they taught. So it's old school, but the worst thing that could happen to you and my family was somebody whipped your behind on the playground. Oh, yeah, you didn't.
You didn't come home after getting your butt kicked.
You were. That guy better have been 4 years older and a foot taller. And I always tell people, like when we were kids growing up, the bus stop was go time, because my mom was insistent that we, operated in that neighborhood with respect, and it's, I'm from Ohio in the Rust Belt. So it was, blue collar neighborhood. And I was in the police athletic leagues coming up. So my coaches were all cops. Yeah. And my older brothers were wrestlers. And so, about age 8. Yeah, age 8, I'm on a wrestling mat. So I was the only kid, like when I was 9 years old, I couldn't go to bed unless, I did 250 stand-ups and 250 push-ups from age 9. Wow. So, and then I think the other thing too, which we need to do a better job at instilling in people. Just I have a lot of pride in what I do, and the one thing I always say, hey, nobody's perfect, but I'll never let anybody outwork me, and that's really a philosophy in my mind that I'm always going to outwork everybody. So when I go head to head in business or in economics or politics with anyone, my first mentality is I'm going to break them down and I'm going to wear them out. And whatever the strategy is, I'm going to break them down and wear them out.
Just like on the wrestling match.
Right. We're going to go in on the inside. We're going to bang on the head. You bang on the head, the legs go. Once the legs go, you can take them down and pin them.
I love it. Okay, so just one final question. With Thanksgiving in mind, and sometimes we never get to say thanks in our life because we don't really realize at the time, or maybe we're shy or reserved at the time. We never get that opportunity to say thank you to people who have helped us along the way. With Thanksgiving in mind, who are you most thankful for, Barry?
Well, I think I'm most thankful for my wife, who's been married to me 31
Beth?
years. Yeah.
Saint?
Yeah.
Saint Beth?
That is literally her nickname in my family. I swear it's Saint Beth, honest to God. So, to be married to someone 31 years, they got to forgive you, they got to love you, they got to put up with you, they got to believe in you. So I would start by saying I have been thankful for her. And my family. But, I'm also, I was thinking about this the other day too. I'm really thankful that, when you're successful in life and, this is what I wanted to do, so I've been successful at it, you're in your 20s and 30s, you're thinking you're doing that on your own, right? Because you're establishing yourself. But by the time you're in your 40s, it's starting to dawn on you that maybe you're not doing this on your own. And I think everything from teachers that inspired me. I always had great coaches. I had a great high school football coach that was, legendary in Ohio for ethics and character and determination and preparation. I had a great high school wrestling coach. I had a great college wrestling coach who held us to very high standards. And I had great teachers. And of course, I went to a Jesuit university. So I had, priests as mentored that really held me to a high standard. So I was, very fortunate to spend my life around high quality people with high standards, and I try to reflect that in our organization. I think it's reflected in our organization and on our board that we operate with high standards because we're representing people that have high standards and high ethics.
A lot of gratitude to go around. Barry Broome joining us. He is the leader at GSAC, the CEO and president. I can tell you, Barry, that we are grateful that we have you here representing us in Sacramento from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and you are doing so much. So thank you for what you do here for Sacramento. Coming up after the break, we will meet John Aller. John is the owner of Molly Maids, and he's a councilman for the city of Roseville. Join the revolution at HaneyBiz.com, courtesy of Audi Rockland. This is the Haney Biz Project.